As you can see, the band is on fire. I wouldn't change. Don't miss my show, guys. Ever.
It's live in Covington here.
Woo! Live. In the studio.
Come on, freestyle. Come on, freestyle, Brandy.
Live. In the studio. Woo! Intellectual radio.
Hey,
Intellectual radio.
I'm in the studio.
And we're back. You are currently tuned into Love Linked on intellectualradio.com and iHeartRadio station. This is Brandy Love chilling with Chris Metcalf. Woo! Live in the studio today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice. Thank you for coming in. Listen, I have been such a big fan of yours, and I'm so excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Brandy. I'm happy to be here.
But did you always want to be a singer?
Yes. I mean, growing up, I came from a musically inclined family, and we always did music. So I would always sing. I didn't know if I wanted to be a singer for a full-time career, but it was somewhere in there.
Did you start off singing very young?
I did. Like I said, my family, we all sang in church, and if you could sing or not, they would just throw you up there in front of the communion table, like, go sing for Jesus, baby. And I used to be terrified to sing. But yeah, I started singing in church when I was very young, and like I just continued to do that from there on. So yeah.
But how did you get your training? Did you take any musical lessons or singing lessons?
Not when I was younger. Of course, I was in different choirs in high school and church and things like that. And I decided to move to Chicago to pursue a musical theater career at Columbia. So I started taking voice lessons in college, but that was like my first formal training. Before, it was just learning from listening to other artists or hearing my aunts and uncles sing and just getting that informal training.
Do you like Chicago?
I love Chicago. It's such a great city. I love it. I've been here for 12 years, so obviously I stayed because I love it.
So have you found that people told you, oh, you're going to have to leave Chicago in order to be successful?
People say that. I don't agree, though. I feel like staying here, it's almost like a better chance. Only because there's room for everyone. You can grow. You know, people move to California or New York thinking they're going to make it, whatever that means, and they kind of get lost in the shuffle. So I'm here and doing this full time, and it's working.
So what was your first professional performance like?
Oh, my first, I mean, I did different things that could be considered professional, which is like just singing out at different events. But my first like real paid professional performance, I guess, I was in college and I was hired. It's a musical called Aida, and I was cast in that show, and that was like my first like signing contract, real show, and the theater seats like 20,000 people, and we would do the show every night, and it was just like, okay, like this is how it feels to do this professionally. So yeah, I guess that.
But did you have any obstacles that you faced trying to pursue your career?
Of course. How much time do you have? There's a lot of obstacles. I mean, it can be doubt, fear, finances, but I just take it one day at a time. I always say my career is very do-it-yourself, which means like I don't have a manager or a booking agent, and it's just learning the process, learning, you know, and just having a process and taking it one day at a time, you know, and trying to figure it out daily. So, yeah.
What advice would you give to those who are trying to pursue a musical career?
My two favorite things that I use to encourage myself is consistency and persistence. Persistency, is that a word? Be persistent. If you just keep steady, slow and steady wins the race. Like, it can be frustrating, but if you just take it one day at a time and just continue to be consistent and knocking on doors, eventually, you know, when it's your time and what's meant for you will be.
So without further ado, after break, Crystal Metcalf and her band will be performing live. Stay tuned. You're tuned into Love Linked on intellectualradio.com.
Love Linked. I'm going to post
intellectualradio.com. Without further ado, the amazing Crystal Metcalf.
This is called All My Life. All my life I've been outward. All my life I've been left out. All my life I've been lonely, singled out, standing in crowds. All my life I've been rebel, always going against the loud. You were not meant to win and have not accepted. I will stand tall. No fear at all. I will stand tall and just be. Why is it you're so afraid to tell me? Is it all about you? Out here being all alone. Shots were bugs when you can lead and follow through. Try to just do your own thing. Then they will see the truth. Now they want to crown me king. I will stand tall. No fear at all. I will stand tall and just be. I will stand tall. No fear at all. I will stand tall and just be.
Amazing, ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Metcalf. We're going to go ahead and take a break. You're tuned into Love Linked on intellectualradio.com.
Yeah!
Woo! intellectualradio.com. Still live is Crystal Metcalf, and her band is going to do another amazing selection. I told y'all that's how we get down at Intellectual Radio. Let's go.